Cashbuild. This is a very interesting scenario. It's the largest retailer of low-end building materials here in Southern Africa. It's got a market cap now of 3 billion. A couple of months ago, it was a hell of a lot higher. It was listed on the stock exchange as early as 1986. It's had a fascinating track record under executives like Albert Koopman and others. It sells directly to cash-paying customers. It's got about 190 odd stores around Southern Africa. Price to earnings ratio has been compressed in recent weeks to 9.8, dividend yield of 4%. But this is quite an interesting chart, Ian, because this one does particularly well over the last 4 or 5 years. Peaks at about 168, 170 Rand a share, amidst rising enthusiasm because of its target market doing well, but literally in recent months has been clobbered right down to about the 130 Rand level.
Just look at the drop below that top consolidating level. I think that was distribution, not intelligent accumulation.
And the recent results, that's the reason for it. Under pressure, earnings flat or slightly down.
At least they advised the shareholders, and I think that was good. But they claim to be the largest cash outlet for building materials in South Africa, and as we just said, the retail customer, the smaller customer, is under threat. And even in the urban areas, the rural areas where they are particularly strong, the bucky builders are very quiet now. So I think that's a warning. That's not encouraging in the medium term, the next 1 to 2 years.
So what I understand about this business model is, as you say, stores located in township areas, peri-urban areas, sort of rural peripheries like, Bushbuck Ridge, that kind of thing. And effectively, as you say, they're targeting the person who's looking to add 1 or 2 rooms to an existing dwelling and has got, between sort of 3 and 10,000 Rand to do it. Often that funding obtained from a small or unsecured lender. So that's part of the mix. They then, supply a limited range of things. It's door frames, it's bags of cement, it's loads of building materials, it's, basic sort of stuff like that, window frames. And the idea is to get the lowest possible price for those. That market, though, I mean, in principle ought to be doing very well, but I guess it's because the small and unsecured lenders have really tightened up their lending criteria that these guys are starting to battle.
And they don't even get anything from the periphery of the infrastructure development program, if and when we eventually see some more of it. And so there's nothing to hang on to there. It's got to be the small cash individual customer, and as I said, they're under threat,
So their customers don't do, mega housing developments or even any kind of commercial or industrial building. This is all private type stuff.
And that is they have confirmed that. So I think.
Okay, but let's just again, shareholder dynamics here. Pat Goldrick was an energetic Irishman who took this business somewhere around there and built it up to this level. He's got about 10% of the equity. He's now retired. The new CEO has come to the fore. He seems like a solid operator. The company's still well positioned, well liked in the marketplace. I don't know. I just feel as though this is the kind of group, with the share price having moved back as it has, that could be a buyout target for the likes of, say, ShopRite or any of those guys.
Oh, that's a very interesting idea. Yes, it's a possibility, especially if you just look at how, for instance, the Spar Group has grown with their Build It add-on, and other big distributors have done something similar. Are ShopRite likely to do that?
Who knows? Yeah. I mean,
okay, it's a long chance.
Yeah, a long shot, and one can't really justify purchases on that basis. Another thing worth noting about Cashbuild is they don't really do any kind of credit. So they've got a rather wishy-washy joint venture with Nedbank, I think, where in-store you can sort of apply through a loan. But it's always struck me that the likes of the micro-lenders like African Bank went and bought Ellerines, that this is the kind of stake that they could equally look at. But in any event, what is clear is that this one got a lot cheaper more recently. But the anxiety is around earnings and earnings compression. So where are you going with this one?
No, I'm afraid not hot. I'm nervous about the sector. I'm quite nervous about this one.
Okay, I'm quite positive about the sector. I'm thinking these things could be poised for some kind of recovery. So I'm going to go with hot.